Marina Rodriguez versus Michelle Waterson takes place this weekend in the main event of UFC Fight Night Vegas 26, Rodriguez versus Waterson, and although it's not the best main event in the world, it's still a main event, and the rest of the card underneath it is still a really good card. I know the main event is very interesting as a main event, but it's on short notice. Sandhagen versus Dillashaw got cancelled. I'd much rather be watching Sandhagen versus Dillashaw, don't get me wrong, but if it's going to be cancelled a week before the fight and Michelle Waterson steps in to save the day, and so does Marina Rodriguez, by the way, then thank you to them both. But Marina Rodriguez had a condition for why she wanted to step in, because this has been confirmed through Michelle Waterson for like a couple of days now that she was going to be the main event for 5 rounds against Marina Rodriguez. We were waiting for it to be official. Now it's official after I made my full card prediction video. The only difference is that it's at 125 pounds. I am going to randomly assume, because I believe I have a hunch about this, Marina Rodriguez is the much bigger girl, and she wasn't saying it was official when Michelle Waterson was saying that she's all in and is already ready to go 5 rounds in the main event. I'm assuming that Marina Rodriguez's team and her decided we're not going to make it to 115 pounds on short notice. We're big for the weight class. Let's ask for this at a catch weight of flyweight 125 pounds. So that is a difference that has been made since my full card prediction video compared to me making this video now. I'm still going to go with Michelle Waterson beating Marina Rodriguez, even with that weight cut not being as big of a factor. I like that Michelle Waterson is not going to have to cut any weight whatsoever. I would argue that she probably cuts around 10 pounds anyway. I think she's going to come into this fight around the 120 region. I reckon Marina Rodriguez is probably still going to cut around 5 pounds, 10 pounds, something like that. So even though it's a less of a weight cut, and it does take away from my confidence of picking Michelle Waterson, if I knew Marina Rodriguez was draining herself down to 115 pounds, cutting 20 pounds in a week to try and make this fight, it would make me a little bit more confident in Michelle Waterson, but she's not doing that. But either way, Michelle Waterson is not cutting weight. Marina Rodriguez is. That is going to be an advantage for Michelle Waterson. However, there is also an advantage in just the size of Marina Rodriguez, and she is a very big girl for the division, 5'6" compared to the 5'3" of Michelle Waterson. 65-inch reach for Marina Rodriguez versus the 62-inch reach for Michelle Waterson. But Michelle Waterson uses her legs to find reach a lot more than her hands with those side kicks and those front kicks up high. She's got really great kicks that find range, and I think that really does help her with the reach disadvantage that she does have against Marina Rodriguez. Marina Rodriguez is going to be very big, so I think if you're going to pick Marina Rodriguez here, you've got to go with her by early rounds TKO. I'm not one of those underdog predictors that say there's no way that the favorite can possibly win. Marina Rodriguez is a favorite. She's a big girl. She's coming off a KO loss. Anytime someone gets a KO in the strawweight division, it doesn't happen that often. I know that Rose Namajunas just did it to Zhang Weili, but even still, it doesn't come around too often. So whenever someone is coming off a KO loss, they get like a big boost of like confidence from MMA fans in picking them. Marina Rodriguez doesn't KO people all of the time. I do understand that her chance to win this fight is in those early rounds by TKO. Michelle Waterson doesn't really get TKO'd either. I know she got hurt at one point by Rose Namajunas before she got choked out. She got head kicked beforehand and hurt quite badly. Other than that, she's never been knocked down in her entire career. Never been put out in her entire UFC career either. I don't think it's going to happen against Marina Rodriguez this weekend, and I think it being on short notice, even though the weight cut is not a factor as much anymore, I'm still confident because the cardio factor is still a factor in this fight. Marina Rodriguez against Carla Esparza really slowed down in that 3rd round. Now, in my opinion, she probably should have won that fight against Carla Esparza just like Michelle Waterson did. She should not have a loss to Carla Esparza. She outlanded her in the 2nd round. She outlanded her in the 1st round. They gave it to Esparza because Esparza got a bunch of takedowns in one of the rounds, and they were taking that into consideration more than the significant strikes of Marina Rodriguez. If that fight was scored nowadays, it would 100% be scored for Marina Rodriguez. But back then, it was a close fight because takedowns were seen as a little bit more than they are now. Even still, I think the cardio is a problem. Round 3 against Carla Esparza, although landing some decent shots on Carla Esparza, she still was being outstruck by Carla Esparza in that fight, and Carla Esparza really started coming on strong in that 3rd round, tripled her on strikes in that 3rd round, and if you think that was just because Marina Rodriguez thought she'd won the fight against Cynthia Calvillo as well in the 3rd round, and Cynthia Calvillo is a girl who's not known to have crazy cardio as the rounds go on. In the 3rd round of the Cynthia Calvillo fight, Marina Rodriguez Rodriguez doing really well for the first 2 rounds, outstriking Cynthia Calvillo for the first 2 rounds reasonably comfortably as well. And then after that, when the 3rd round comes around, she starts getting a little bit tricky. Things start not going her way as much. And the 3rd round turns into a 10-8 round for Cynthia Calvillo, who gets a bunch of takedowns, gets on top, starts beating the life out of her, 44-5 on significant strikes. That is a ridiculous number of strikes. In the 1st round as well against Cynthia Calvillo, that was a razor-close round. In fact, Cynthia Calvillo thought she won the 1st round because she landed a higher percentage of her shots, but they went with Marina Rodriguez landing more shots, 22-21. Extremely close fight with Cynthia Calvillo, and Cynthia Calvillo is not like a top 5 level UFC women's strawweight, and on a 5-round fight, I don't like the fact that we've seen Marina Rodriguez slow down so much in the 3rd rounds in some of her losses and some of her close wins that she's had. I don't like that whatsoever because I know that Michelle Waterson can go 5 rounds hard. We've seen her go 5 rounds hard against Angela Hill in her last fight. That was a very, very high-paced fight that they had where they were having output numbers of 40 nearly in the 5th round of a 5-round fight. That was really impressive to me. I like the cardio of Michelle Waterson here. And in a 5-rounder where Marina Rodriguez has been gassing out and slowing down, not gassing out, but slowing down enough to lose the rounds dominantly in some cases in the 3rd round. If I'm seeing her do that in a 3-rounder when she's had a full camp for those fights, now she's taking a 5-rounder on short notice, I don't think she KOs Michelle Waterson. And that's all it kind of comes down to, in my opinion. I don't think she KOs Michelle Waterson, and because of that reason, I don't see her winning rounds 3, 4, and 5. I think she's going to be too slow. I can see 2 10-9s going to Marina Rodriguez in the first 2, and then 3 10-9s in a row for Michelle Waterson, rounds 3, 4, and 5. I think eventually in those later rounds, Michelle Waterson will start mixing in some of her takedowns. Marina Rodriguez has got some dangerous jiu-jitsu early on, when things are a little bit more fresh. As the rounds go on, Cynthia Calvillo was able to easily out-grapple her in that 3rd round and dominate her, take her back a bunch of times, stuff like that. I think Michelle Waterson's going to mix in the takedowns as this fight goes on. I think Michelle Waterson has better grappling than Marina Rodriguez, I would argue. I know maybe the stats don't dictate that, but they kind of do because the takedown defense of Michelle Waterson is higher, the takedown accuracy of Michelle Waterson is higher, the willingness to engage in takedowns for Michelle Waterson is higher, the submission average per 15 minutes is way higher for Michelle Waterson, and I just like her on the feet to not lose that devastatingly early. So all of these other factors as the fight goes on, when Marina Rodriguez is in the first 5-rounder of her life on short notice when she usually slows down in 3-rounders, it's not good to me. And also when you watch the Carla Esparza fight, Esparza got Waterson down once, okay? Marina Rodriguez got taken down how many times by Carla Esparza in that fight? Quite a few amount of times, I would say. Let me just find out the exact number right now. She got taken down 5 times by Carla Esparza in their fight. Michelle Waterson got taken down once and didn't get held there. Marina Rodriguez got taken down 5 times and was held there for nearly 9 minutes of a 15-minute bout. She landed more significant strikes, don't get me wrong, but Esparza was on top for a very long time. And back then, that's how they scored fights. I think the grappling advantage is in favor of Michelle Waterson in the rounds that she needs to win the fight, rounds 3, 4, and 5. And I don't think she gets KO'd early. And that's kind of what it comes down to, in all honesty. I know she's got a bit of a reach disadvantage, but I like her kicks to make up for that. She's a little bit older, but then again, Marina Rodriguez is 34 as well. This is not like Marina Rodriguez is this 13-1 prospect rising through the division who's like a 28-year-old or anything like that. And also, the person that Marina Rodriguez TKO'd is Amanda Ribas, and I know no one else knew this, but she had been KO'd earlier in her career at strawweight as well. So maybe it's not so much about Marina Rodriguez's power, and maybe it's a little bit more about Ribas is a little bit chinny, because Ribas got KO'd by Poliana Viana earlier in her career on the regional scene, and it was a devastating KO as well. Maybe it's on Ribas being a little bit chinny. She has fought at flyweight before. Maybe coming back down to strawweight was not a good move for her. Who knows? Maybe it's just because Rodriguez is way better than Ribas. That is also a factor that could be taken into consideration. I feel like Michelle Waterson's got a good enough chin to survive Rodriguez's punches, not even engage with the boxing early, and wait until those later rounds to really start putting things together. She's got good side kicks to the body, good front kicks to the body. I think she'll work the body early, maybe try some grappling exchanges early as well in the second round once they get a little bit sweatier, so she can't be submitted or anything like that. Then, in the later rounds, I think she'll take over. But then, that's all I really have to say about this bout. It's a decent fight, and it still affects the women's strawweight division. So this is actually a big one for maybe some potential matchups. There's a fly. I just killed it that quickly. No issues whatsoever. Bang! It's dead. The fly will not bother me anymore. Moving on, though. What was I talking about? The women's strawweight division. You motherfucker. It's not dead. Either way. That's piss. He's mocking me now. I might have to get up and do something about that. That is a mockery. He just floated by again. That is actually him flaunting in front of me that he is still alive and well. I'll get to him in a second. Fucking cunt. Either way. Strawweight division, this has big implications. The winner of Michelle Waterson versus Marina Rodriguez is going to probably move above Nina Ansaroff in the division and take that number 6 spot. If Marina Rodriguez wins, I reckon she'll probably move above Mackenzie Dern into the number 5 spot. So you could be looking at the next opponent for Mackenzie Dern or something like that, I would say. I think Zhang Weili, who knows what they're going to do. There's Tatiana Suarez that's got to come back, so that there's kind of like an even amount of fights. I reckon the winner of Yan Xiaonan, Carla Esparza is probably going to be next for Rose Namajunas. I think they're going to do Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Tatiana Suarez for a title shot or something like that. They'll probably do Zhang Weili versus the loser of Carla Esparza, Yan Xiaonan, because then they could do like a China card with Zhang Weili and Yan Xiaonan in China. Other than that, I reckon that Mackenzie Dern is probably next for the winner of this bout. I'd like to see that. Quick turnaround. Hopefully they don't take too much damage. But I think it's going to be a fun scrap for 5 rounds. And Michelle Waterson's going to have more in the tank in those later rounds. Because she's proven to me that she does. Whereas Marina Rodriguez has proven to me in less time frame that she doesn't. And it's not like she has a ridiculously crazy pace in those fights either. So, I don't trust it. And also, I know this is not a way to predict fights, but I realized this after, actually just in my stream before I'm recording this video. There hasn't been an underdog win in a main event in a very long time, and I don't see one happening after this for a while either. I think probably Chandler beats Oliveira, maybe, and I reckon he's probably going to be the favourite there. I don't know what I think about Font versus Garbrandt. We'll talk about that soon. That's one of those fights I'm not too sure about, but I think Adesanya is going to beat Vettori, so listen. There hasn't been a main event upset in a while. I'm not using that to say what. I've just given you all of the reasons why I think Michelle Waterson wins. And I think they're very good reasons. Okay? I'm just saying, if you're one of those people that believe in a little bit of juju, a little bit of bad magic, who knows? There hasn't been a main event upset since Brunson versus Holland. 260 and Ngannou was the favourite. He won. The week after that, Vettori versus Holland. Vettori was the favourite. He won. A week after that, Whittaker versus Gastelum. Whittaker was the favourite. He won. Then you go 261. Usman favourite. Wins. Reyes Prohaska. Prohaska was the favourite. Wins. Maybe it's time for an upset. I'm not saying that's why I'm picking it. Just, it would be a very good coincidence. I'll tell you that much. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Click that button up there. But I'm feeling pretty confident in Michelle Waterson winning this one as the rounds go on. I know it's risky. She could be KO'd early. Don't see it happening. Also, on short notice, those punches early are not going to be the same way as they normally are. It's going to take you a little bit longer to get into a fight than someone who's had a bunch of hard sparring sessions for a particular opponent. And on short notice as well, Michelle Waterson is a little bit more of a unorthodox fighter. So I believe unorthodoxy is favoured by short notice because it gives you less time to prepare. Michelle Waterson is facing a boxer in Marina Rodriguez. Marina Rodriguez is facing a more varietied opponent. So she needs more time. Her preparation would be more valuable to her than Michelle Waterson's preparation of Marina Rodriguez. Do you understand? You understand. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Click that button up there. Toodle Pippington.